Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I have a really awesome upgrade that I'm going to be doing today to the inside of my Tesla, specifically a screen rotation bracket that I'm going to be installing on the main screen of my Tesla Model Y. I'm really excited for this. This is something I've been eyeing for a little while. I think it's going to be a really awesome product that allows the screen to swivel 15 degrees each way, as well as several degrees up and down. So you can kind of remove any glare as you're driving, and also just have an opportunity to tilt the screen towards you so it's not just flat all the time. Really excited to see how this turns out. I've seen these online before, and I'm really excited again to partner with Tesstudio, who sent this over to me. Tesstudio is a company I've worked with on another video on an ambient lighting kit they sent over. I'll have a link to that video down in the description. But they make really awesome, I'll call them upgrades for your Tesla, more than just your standard accessory boxes and floor mats and stuff like that. They offer really interesting soft close front features, soft close door features, some accessory buttons for the inside of your car. Really kind of awesome upgrades that I'll call them for your Tesla. So really cool company. Please check them out. Really excited to work with them on this installation bracket. But let's go ahead and get this unboxed and then start doing the install. We'll let you guys know how it goes. So we're over here at the workbench to open up what all comes with this kit. As you can see, it says screen rotation bracket. It has some literature on the back here. It's dedicated to Model 3 and Model Ys. You can turn it left and right 30 degrees and then 15 degrees up and down. So really allows some really awesome customization, I think, for your Model Y. So let's take a look and see what all this kit comes with. As we unbox it here, nice packaging, nice kind of foam, dense cell foam protection. Let's uncover and see what we got. Okay, we have that pamphlet again from Tesstudio, which offers a discount there, as well as some just awesome accessories that they offer. The power frunk, laser lights, charging stations, full body kits, spoilers. Check them out. Really cool company. We also get included, the installation steps. This is really nice. A printed full color photos of all the installation steps you're going to be needing to install this in your Model Y. So really nice. This is going to come in so handy. As last time I had to kind of keep checking back and forth online to find the instructions. So that's really nice to have. And here we go. We get into the kit. This is actually the bracket. This is the bracket that we're going to be installing. It houses kind of all the tilting functionality. It's pretty stiff, which is what you want out of a nice screen protector. So it's not going to just flop around on you. It really takes a little bit of force to turn it. Exactly what you're looking for. This is one of the housing brackets that's going to attach to the dash of your Model Y, so that the screen is kind of held on there. You get a whole bag of goodies, tools. We'll go through those in just a second. And the last piece here is, this is the actual piece that attaches to the back of your screen. Let's unwrap this real quick. So that's super handy. So that attaches to the back of your screen, which is going to attach to this piece here. You get two different temperature sensor, cover plates, depending on which year your Model Y or Model 3 is. So for the newer ones, you have this one with lots of holes, kind of looks like a shower head, and your older Teslas are going to have this one with a solid hole. But you'll see definitely during the installation process, we're going to be using this one when we install the temperature sensor down there. The other nice thing about this kit, it comes with all the tools you need. So that's actually super handy. You don't have to run out and buy a whole bunch of extra things. Let's take a look at what's in here. A couple little small screws we're going to need to attach some of these brackets. Looks like two different size Allen wrenches, one with a Torx head, which are very specific to, kind of a safety Torx model, which is nice. A couple really long bolts, which we'll need to use. A little pry bar to help uninstall the temperature sensor. Another Allen key, and then a 10mm socket wrench. So really nice here. The last thing I'd really recommend having handy is a nice big microfiber towel, something that you can, like when you're detaching the screen, you have someplace nice and soft to set it so that the screen doesn't get scratched or injured or anything like that. Now that we got it unboxed, we have the instructions ready. Let's go hop over into the car and we're going to work on removing the old screen, getting this new swivel bracket installed. So we're in the car and I have my microfiber towel kind of laid down here as the screen's going to come down here when we get to installing it. I'm going to set you guys right here and try to get you good shots as I'm doing all this different work. It's a little dark in my garage, so I do have a flashlight working here. I'll try to get some light on all the things that I'm doing. But the very first step in the instructions say that this little panel, which is our temperature sensor screen on the old mount, has to come up. So it includes this little pry tool, which we're going to be sticking right up in there. And you push to the right, and you should be able to just kind of pull this down. There we go. And that's our temperature sensor right there. Let's not pull it out too far. Don't pull out any wires, but we'll leave it right there. The next step is actually going to be unplugging the temperature sensor on the small trim panel. All right, so we got the temperature sensor off. We'll set that aside for now and just leave that cord kind of dangling there. We'll plug that back in that new housing in just a little bit. The next step is let me bring you over a little bit. These two big bolts, we're going to use that included 10 millimeter, let's see if I can point at the 10 millimeter socket to take out that one and that one. And that's going to let our screen kind of fall down. Those are the main two holding the screen in. Lefty loosey. And make sure you set these aside, and these are going to be really important later on. So there's one. We'll go ahead and get the other one out. All right, so we got the screen off, and let's make sure it stays off, turning it into safety mode, going all the way to the bottom, and hitting power off. We're going to set it down right here gently on the microfiber towel we have set up here. Very nice. Sweet. All right, the next step is we're actually going to remove some of these brackets off the back here. As I bring you up and take a look, there's some screws down in here we're going to actually work on removing next. And it's that one on that side, and this one way over here, and we're going to use that included Torx wrench to do that. All right, we're going to use the larger of our included Torx wrenches to get down and remove those two screws that I just showed you. One on this side, not very tight. And we're going to save these screws and set them aside again, just in case we need them. That's the first one. I know my arm's right in the way. That's the first one. We'll set that down here. I'll get that second one. All right, and that loosens this whole bracket piece off, so now we can actually go and unplug the screen. We'll do that next. So as we go to unplug the screen, make sure that the screen's actually powered off. It's very important. And you have kind of a protector around the outside. Remember this orientation, because we're going to have to install it a little bit later. I just have the other bracket waiting up here. So this is a little kind of protector that just kind of makes sure the screen doesn't come unplugged. So you can kind of take it off carefully. Like so. Make sure you set this aside so we don't lose it. Put it down with our other screws. Now, unplugging the screen, again, this is something you want to do really carefully. There's a little latch over on the left here. So you might need a screwdriver to hit that, or if you can get it with your fingernail, pretty good too. And there you go. Move the screen just like that. So with our screen disconnected, we can go ahead and remove this plastic trim piece and set it aside in case you ever want to go back to kind of your factory look. Just make sure you hang on to this too. We'll just set it up on the dash for now. We have our screen plug and our temperature sensor back here. Move you guys up just a little bit. And this is where we're going to actually be installing the new bracket, the new actually swivel arm bracket that came with our kit. So this is kind of the kit we're going to install right here. So it should fit down right in these two slots. These two tabs fit right down into that slot and the slot on the right. And we're going to be using those original screws that we removed out and saved. A little tight, but that's kind of what you want, I think. And just kind of line it up. And this is what's going to be holding the new screen in place. So let's get those two screws that we removed, these big long ones, the 10 millimeter socket ones. We're going to reinstall this bracket. Start over here on the left. Get it kind of started. And it said you could swivel this out of the way if you need to. Oh yeah, that's nice. Get this one up there and installed. And again, you're going to want to make sure these are pretty snug, because this is going to be where all that torque goes when you're actually turning your screen or tilting it. So make sure these are nice and tight when you get it installed. All right, so now that we have the new kind of bracket installed, you can see how it's kind of going to all fit together. This is it takes a lot of force to turn it, but I think that's exactly what you want. So we have the nice new bracket installed. We're going to be installing this trim piece. Kind of fits all around it. So this is a little finicky to get on. You want to turn this kind of bracket all the way to the left, and I removed the temperature sensor screen to help us kind of fit this on here. So you want to kind of filter your cords through, and we'll see if we can kind of get this lined up. So it takes a little bit of finesse. All right, it took a little bit of fiddling to get it all kind of to fit in there, but it actually fits really nice. Let me take you in for a close-up. As you can kind of see, it's really nicely around all the sides there. Looks really good. You have your temperature sensor cord in here and your screen cord here, and it all looks really good. The next step is attaching that housing kind of permanently. So the kit came with 2 little screws that you're going to be using, as well as a little Phillips screwdriver. So let's go ahead and use those to install this right here. And this kind of holds that nice mounting bracket, nice and flush, just to give it that really kind of finished and clean look. The next thing we're going to be doing is actually installing this outer bracket, this outer housing on the back of the actual screen here that's going to attach to the bottom of our new swivel mount we installed. But the next step before we do that is you want to make sure you slide it on to the actual cover, because we're going to be plugging in the screen. So don't lose that white kind of protector clip that we had. Let's install the screen back first, just as we had it. Like so, till you hear that nice click. And this little protector is going to slip right over the cover again and work its way down. So it kind of latches on. Get that out of the way. Like so. Keeps that nice and secure too. All right, so now that we actually have the screen cover, we can go ahead and flip that around. And you want to make sure that that slit and the hole are kind of facing upwards. So it's going to be facing this way. So get the screen whatever position you need to, slide that on, and then we're going to be using the screws that we removed earlier to reinstall it with that big Torx wrench. Let's get one of those handy right here and right here, just like these are the ones we used earlier, or that we removed earlier. I'm going to screw that back in. Sorry, my hand's right in the way. You guys can't see that. Make sure this is nice and tight on there. This is more just decorative. So we're going to be lifting the screen up, sliding it on this bracket, and then we'll get a shot from the bottom as we install these 2 pretty lengthy cap screws that it comes with. Let's start with that. Lift the screen back up. Slide it on the mount. Making sure the cord's out of the way. It'll take a little force to get on there. There we go. There we go. Kind of lines up for us. And it goes in a little bit of an angle. Just be aware of that when you're installing it. We'll kind of do one, and we'll come back and really snug them up when we get both of them screwed up in there. So just working on the floor next to the center console, we're going to remove the actual temperature sensor, this piece, from the housing of the old piece, so we can use that new screen. So again, the kit includes the smaller of the Torx wrench. We're just going to take out these couple screws right here. I get my hands out of the way. And we're going to be reusing these screws, so make sure you don't lose them. 1 and 2. And there you go. And so you can see, this temperature sensor uses kind of that square box to house the actual sensor down in there. And that's the model we're going to be using. The kit comes with one for older Model Ys and Model 3s, and then kind of newer ones. We're going to be using this one, the newer model. We'll get this piece out of the way, bring down our temperature sensor, line it up, and screw it in. There you go. We attached it to that new kind of trim piece. The last step's really kind of plugging it in and getting it installed. So we got the temperature sensor installed on the new trim piece. Let's go ahead and plug it back in. Then you hear the nice click. Get that cord kind of up out of the way, and it should just push all back in there and slide right down in for a nice completed look. There you go. So that wraps up the installation. Let's go ahead and get this cleaned up, and we'll come back and show you guys how this whole thing works. So we just finished up the installation. Let's check out what this screen can do. Right now it's kind of just centered. I haven't moved it around a whole lot. Let's move it over to me, to the left. Look at that. Oh, what a nice feature. It feels really solid. You get a really nice feedback when you're actually turning it. It's super kind of solid, very sturdy. This thing's not going to go bumping around down the road when you're driving all the way left and right to your passenger, or you can just keep it nice in the middle if you really want people in the back to see or more information. Let's tilt it up. Up and down, very nice. All the way to the sky, and then down if you want. Oh my gosh, way far down if you actually want to get it all the way to the bottom. So super nice. We'll keep it probably there most of the time. And then the ability to turn it towards you just a little bit is just a really nice feature. So I just finished up installing the swivel screen and kind of playing around with it for the first time. I must say, it's a really well-built product. You don't really appreciate this level of product until you actually install one in your car, and then you can kind of see what you've been missing out on. So I really do like it. I think the added functionality of being able to tilt the screen when you're out driving, when you need to get a better view of the navigation, when you need to just kind of turn it so it's not so glaring at you. I really appreciate that functionality. It's awesome. The styling, the installation, the shroud that kind of goes around the backside, it really looks like a factory product, kind of OEM. I don't think anyone could tell when they got in your Tesla that this is an aftermarket accessory, which is kind of the whole point of really what we want to do. So I really, really appreciate that. As far as difficulty goes for installation, I'd probably give it about a 4 out of 10. I think if you've ever hung a TV on a wall mount or done anything with computer monitors, mounting those or anything like that, this feels very similar to that kind of installation. It has that same kind of feel where it's very sturdy, very solid as you're driving down the road. You won't have any issues kind of with it bumping along. But I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10. Overall, it probably took me about 45 minutes to install it. That was being very methodical, really taking my time, following the directions. The directions were great. They're really well written, so I appreciate that from Tesstudio. I really want to kind of shout out Tesstudio again for giving me the opportunity to review this product, for partnering with me and sending it over. I really appreciate that. On that note, always use my code down in the description and on the screen right now, Gamble1080, whenever you're buying a product from Tesstudio. It's a really great discount code. I believe it'll save you up to 22% off your products that you order from them. But please use my code. It helps out my channel, and it really, shows that Tesstudio, that I'm making quality content that you guys enjoy. So I really appreciate that. Make sure to watch my other video that I collaborated with them on about my ambient light kit. You probably saw it in the background when I was installing that red ambient light kit. Awesome product, super easy to install, and it's really cool too. Thanks again for coming back to the channel. I appreciate all you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in more Tesla content. At the end of these videos, I always have a playlist that you can check out for all my Tesla videos that'll show up on the screen. But I just appreciate you guys coming back and hanging out with me, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.